going on, Jerome's beautiful day for another 7-round Vikings mock draft. Now, I just realized the irony of the outfit. So we got the Carolina sweatshirt. We got the Franklin barbecue hat. So Carolina, Texas, they got a rivalry going on barbecue. I'll say this. This is going to be controversial. I prefer the Carolina barbecue sauce, vinegar, hot sauce, and all that stuff. I think that Carolina pork, like pulled pork, shoulder, whole hog, all that stuff, they're number one there. Texas brisket, obviously number one there. Like each region, I feel like has its own specialty. Like Tennessee, we'll go with ribs. Kansas City is sort of a jack of all trades, everything. Burnt ends, he is a huge deal there. Arthur Gates and whatnot, but I don't know what we accomplished there. Anyways, diving on in. So the smoking meats is like a hobby of basically every dude over 30. And just in terms of like the weeknight smoke, if you got like a pellet grill, you're probably not going to bust out the stick burner for a weeknight, but smoked chicken is elite. And so my kids are generally pretty good eaters, but I know that a lot of people's kids are picky eaters. They will love barbecue chicken, right? With just a little bit of, so the issue a lot of people have is that they put the barbecue sauce on with way too much cooking time left. Generally, you want about like maybe 20 minutes, 10. But so instead of like the commercial barbecue sauce, just get like some agave, the sweet liquid stuff. So agave, a little bit of soy sauce, some mirin, a little bit of miso for the saltiness, dark soy sauce. Now, if you use regular soy sauce with the miso, might be too salty, but dark soy sauce is a little less salty, but also a lot of like depth and umami. Also gives it a great color. Do that, maybe a little bit of paprika in there, and then just like lather that on, so you get the sweetness from the agave, you get everything else from everywhere else, and there's just something about like the cooked out, slightly charred soy. It's just good. I don't know what we accomplished. Anyway, 7-round mock draft. Let's go. Feeling good today. Feel good every day, but you know what I mean. Going down in an early round, 24. So like we said, we're going to change things up a little bit. All right, so Genty goes 4. I actually think that Genty might go 4 to the Patriots. Like they obviously have a lot more needs, but I think Genty could be that dynamic playmaker that they haven't really had at running back since, I don't know, Curtis Martin. Like they obviously had decent running backs during the Belichick years, Antoine Smith and whatnot, but I don't know. I just think that Genty would be great there. Ward 1, Mason Graham 2. Ooh, spicy. I like it. Travis Hunter goes 3. Abdul Carter takes a little bit of a tumble to 6 with the Raiders. Shador Sanders to the Jets. Why? Why would you do that to our guy, Shador? I mean, yeah. The Bears get Hadi Campbell, which I don't know. Like they spent $1 bajillion on Edmonds and in the linebacking core, so I don't know. I don't know, man. Will Johnson goes to the Dolphins. Jalen to the Falcons. Mike Green to the Bengals. I like that fit a lot, especially if they do end up trading Trey Hendrickson during the draft. Kenneth Grant to the Bucks. Ooh, Grant and Vita Vea next to each other. Let's go, man. Shamar Stewart, Igbuka, Simmons, Walter Nolan goes to the Packers. I hate it because Walter Nolan's going to be a problem. And as they phase out Kenny Clark, I think Nolan could be, not a 1-for-1 replacement because they play different positions, but decent in that middle, man. So the Vikings at 24 got a couple trade offers. Giants at 34, I think is a realistic spot for potential trade down. So the Giants, it's going to cost you, Chief. That line is from the movie Mr. Baseball, by the way. Fantastic movie. So 34, second pick of the second round, 65, first pick of the third round, and just try and squeeze out some nice. How about a future third? No, future fourth. 2 4s, pocket 4s. Come on. All right, so 35, 30, dropping down 10 spots. 34, 65, a future fourth and a future fifth, and hence. There you go. I'm feeling good, and yeah, could have stuck and picked. Gray Zabel just there winking at us. I feel like. Unless we're going to get $1 bajillion, we're just going to stick a pick there. All right, so not accepted. Nah, screw you, screw your face, screw the Jets, everyone. Just want to make sure that Emin Worry isn't on the board because PFF's been weird about him. Also, I could look to see if he was drafted. Oh, he goes to the Eagles? I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying that one. Anyways, but Gray Zabel obviously is the pick here. Just want to see who's still around. Jack Betch, Xavier Watts, Amos, Hairston, Ravel. Yeah, I mean, top of the second round, there's going to be a lot of really talented players going. And that sort of happens all the time. But Gray Zabel, set and forget it. He's going to be a starting left guard for a decade. Also has some tackle flexibility. But getting Gray Zabel while you're able to trade down, I think it's highly unlikely that he falls out of the first round, but I don't know, stranger things have happened in the draft, I guess. So we are adorned with an extra third rounder, 65. So this is the stage of the draft. We haven't really drafted much since the Vikings have that gap there. Ooh, Fredo Collins is there. Alfred Collins, CJ West, Mason Taylor, who we drafted, but Jordan Birch. So I know that Derek Harmon gets all the love there. Jamari Caldwell gets some love too. But Jordan Birch is a dude. I mean, Jordan Birch, I think low-key might be one of the better defensive players in this class, notably at 5-tech. But Jordan Birch, 6'4", 279, rock solid, stout for that 5-tech, that 3-4 defensive end position. 32 pressures, 8.5 sacks, 4.67 40. Good first step, a finisher as a tackler, and also I think that he's progressing. Like I think that next couple years are going to be huge for his development. So, I mean, we're good to go here. Honestly, could go a bunch of ways. Mason Taylor, obviously, Fredo Collins, CJ West, Ursery. Ursery, if we hadn't gone Gray Zabel. I know BPA, but pretty close on a lot of these guys. Yeah, but Jordan Birch, welcome on in. You are a Viking. Love that pickup in the third. Let's go. Next. So again, we're trying to change things up a little bit from what we usually do, just so we can get a feel for what's going to be going on the rest of the round. So Damian Martinez, power, and Jordan Mason is the punch you in your face type running back, but Damian Martinez is straight up FU, like Ford F-350 diesel dually, just whooping somebody's ass. So Damian Martinez, 6', 232. He's a banger. Like he's a plus size Devontae Foreman. Like he's just gonna get after things. 1,000 yards, 1,006 yard rushing last year. 10 touchdowns, 6.3 yards per carry, and he's just gonna be a rock. He's just gonna be absolutely rock solid. So you have Aaron Jones as your running back 1A, Jordan Mason as 1B, and then you got bad Damian Martinez. Let's go. Now, obviously, could go a different direction. I mean, cornerback, safety, and I know. I mean, our general pick there is Makuba, but like we said, we're trying to change things up. Next, 5th round, Evans is there winking at us. Cornelius, Usuric, Bowman. Except we always draft Billy Bowman, but there's a reason because Billy Bowman's freaking good, man. Simeon Barrow, Quincy Riley. It's a Quincy Riley and then the cows. But Quincy Riley, I think the Riley might sneak into day 2. I think that he's that talented of a dude. Prior to Louisville, 5'10", $192, 27 career passes broken up, 8 interceptions, ball skills, great recovery speed, and I think that he's a player that could certainly be molded in that Flores scheme. And I know a lot of people point out, well, safety is more of a need than cornerback. I mean, fine. Well, what about moving Okuda to safety, which I think certainly could and should be considered given his size, given his well, he wasn't the speediest guy to begin with, but Achilles definitely put him behind the 8 ball, and I think that he may thrive better in a safety type role, but that's an argument for another day. Quincy Riley, welcome on in. You're a Viking. Let's go. Lastly, 6th round, pick 187. All right, so Tonka is there. Ty Felton, the Vikings have done a lot of work on. Brosmer, Conyers. I kind of like Conyers, but don't let anyone know. And yeah, we have talked about getting someone like Jackson Hawes, but I believe he's off the board. I think he's going to be like a 5th round guy. But Jalen Conyers, so he's intriguing. So Oklahoma, Arizona State, Texas Tech, definitely been moving around. 6'3", 260. Last year, 30 catches, 320 yards, receiving 5 touchdowns. He was a Wildcat quarterback at Arizona State. So could we go with some Taysom Hill? Because why not? Good speed, good ball skills. Yards after catch is a plus. Ran a 4.7, 4.40, which checks the box for a tight end. So he's an intriguing, bit of a wild card move tight end. And he's some of that definitely can move the needle a little bit. So we are going to go with Jalen Conyers in the 6th round. So, all right. So what didn't we get? Which is always the first question. It's just like the Hall of Fame. It's not who got in; it's who got snubbed. That's right. So the Vikings. I mean, was there some other needs that the Vikings could have, should have addressed? Sure. Notably, size on the inside for defensive line. Birch being that 3-4 defensive end. But I feel like Martino was just too much value, right? And Jones, I mean, he's going to be 31 in December. Plus, stylistically, Damian Martinez brings a different type of style, just like thump. That's right. LeGarrette Blount adjacent. But Zabel, super athletic. Did great at the Senior Bowl. I think he plops in a left guard day one. Jordan Birch is going to get into that defensive line rotation. Has a great first step as well as can set the edge at that 5-tech spot. Quincy Riley, great addition to the cornerback room. Also, like we said, Okudah potentially could move to safety, which I think makes a lot of sense. And then I can't not with Jalen Conyers. Wildcat quarterback, Taysom Hill. Can we please do something creative on offense? And Kevin O'Connell, I know that Kevin O'Connell's in his bag sometimes with some of those trick plays. Sometimes he whips it out at inopportune times where, well, it's always in the eye of the beholder. Like, hey, if it works, genius. If it doesn't, idiot. Yeah. But do you remember when, I think it was Shermer, pretty sure it was Shermer, put Linval at fullback for a couple plays? I think it was against Detroit as well. Everyone was creaming in their jeans. Like, there's so little that you have to do to entertain us. Like, just put the nose tackle at fullback. Wow. JJ Pegues, all up in there. Or Conyers as a Wildcat quarterback. It's running sneaks and stuff. That's what we want, man. That's what I want. Anyways, that is it. That's it. Oh, also, we got an extra 4th and an extra 5th in future years from the Giants, so it's going to be high in those subsequent rounds. That's it. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull, production value.